What's up, everyone? We are back at it, and today we are tackling a massive head-to-head between two of the most talked about dash cams in 2026, the Thinkware ARC 900 and the BlackVue Elite 10. If you've been following our production rig updates, you know we don't settle for good enough when it comes to security. We need high-resolution evidence and parking protection that actually works without killing our batteries. Both of these brands are the premium choices, but they take very different approaches to how they protect your vehicle. We've been running both setups to see which one actually justifies the flagship price tag and which one is just riding on brand name. We've got the updated links and those sale prices, which show a pretty significant $150 to $200 price gap, down in the description. So without any further ado, let's begin. Starting with the BlackVue Elite 10, this is for those of us who want that stealth look. It's got that signature cylindrical shape with a burgundy red accent that blends perfectly behind a rear view mirror. When we unboxed this one, the first thing we noticed was the lack of a screen. BlackVue bet everything on the app experience. Now compare that to the Thinkware ARC 900. Thinkware went the opposite direction, giving us a bright 3.5-inch IPS touchscreen. To be honest, we think this is a huge win for the ARC 900. While BlackVue forces you to pull out your phone just to check if the angle is right, the Thinkware lets us dial in the horizon line instantly using the ADAS front camera guide on the built-in display. But don't count the BlackVue out yet. What it lacks in a screen, it makes up for in raw processing power. We're talking about the Sony starvis 2 IMX678 sensor on both the front and the rear. Getting dual 4K recording is a massive jump for BlackVue, and they've even introduced a new 6GB coaxial video cable to handle those insane data rates. Thinkware, on the other hand, gives us 4K on the front, but only 2K on the rear. Now, in the real world, is 4K on the rear a game changer? In our testing, the BlackVue's rear 4K definitely captures more detail, but the Thinkware's 2K is no slouch. It's miles ahead of the 1080p units we usually see. Now, let's talk about the actual look of the footage. This is where the BlackVue Elite 10 tries to pull ahead with its 12-bit color capture. It handles a massive palette of 68 billion colors at the source, which results in footage that feels almost cinematic. When we're driving through a sunset, the gradients are smooth and the colors are vibrant. But here's the thing, when we switched back to the Thinkware ARC 900, we noticed something Thinkware does better: dual 60 FPS recording. While the BlackVue looks prettier, the Thinkware looks smoother. That higher frame rate is essential for us because it makes it way easier to freeze a frame and catch a license plate number when cars are moving fast. Thinkware also uses super night vision and dual HDR, which we found to be a bit more balanced than the BlackVue. The Elite 10 can sometimes smudge tiny details like tree leaves in an effort to keep the noise down, whereas the ARC 900 stays sharp even if the image is a bit more clinical. When the sun goes down, both of these units shine thanks to that starvis 2 tech. The BlackVue Elite 10 pulls a lot of light, but we did notice a bit of lens glare around streetlights. The Thinkware ARC 900 handles those harsh lighting transitions like driving into a tunnel or facing high beams much better because of its dual HDR processing. It doesn't get flashbanged as easily. If you're a perfectionist about color, you'll love the BlackVue. But if you're a data-first person who wants the cleanest license plate read at 70 miles per hour, the Thinkware's high frame rate might actually be the better tool. The real battle, however, happens when the car is parked. This is where the philosophies really split. The BlackVue Elite 10 is the king of the cloud. If you have a mobile hotspot in your car, the BlackVue will send a push notification to your phone the second someone dings your door. You can jump into a live view from anywhere in the world and even talk back through the camera. It's always on security. But that connectivity comes at a cost, both in price and complexity. The Thinkware ARC 900 counters with sheer battery efficiency. They've introduced Energy Saving Mode 2.0, and the numbers are actually wild. It drops the current usage from 67.7 milliamps down to around 8 milliamps. To put that in perspective, the BlackVue's power saving mode draws under 1 milliamp, but it basically stays asleep and only wakes up on impact. The Thinkware in its energy saving mode can stay active for approximately 24 days on a standard battery. We also love Thinkware's smart parking mode. If the interior of your rig gets too hot, which happens a lot in our testing, the ARC 900 automatically switches to a low power mode to protect itself from overheating, then kicks back into full motion detection once the temp drops. The BlackVue has overheat protection too, but it's a hard shutdown. It won't turn back on until the next time you start the car. For us, the Thinkware feels more reliable for long-term parking at a trailhead or an airport lot. For the install in our Bronco, both cameras required a hardwire kit to unlock these parking modes. We tapped into the fuse box, routing the cables along the headliner, staying clear of the curtain airbags. The Thinkware ARC 900 install felt a bit more pro because of how easily we could check the rear camera feed on the screen to make sure we weren't obstructed by the spare tire. With the BlackVue Elite 10, we were constantly checking our phones, which can be a bit of a pain if the Wi-Fi pairing decides to be finicky that day. Another thing to consider is the ADAS, or Advanced Driver Assistance Systems. The ARC 900 is packed with them: front vehicle start alert, traffic light change alert, and safety camera alerts. To be honest, we usually turn these off because they can get annoying, but if you're the type who likes having those extra eyes on the road, Thinkware's implementation is much more integrated. BlackVue stays focused on the recording and the cloud, leaving the driver assistance to your car's built-in systems. So, after putting them through their paces, where do we stand? This is a tough one because both cameras are elite, but they are built for different people. The BlackVue Elite 10 is the ultimate set-it-and-forget-it luxury tool. If you want the best possible color, the stealthiest design, and the ability to check on your car from a beach in another country, this is your camera. You're paying a flagship price, usually around $513 on sale, but you're getting the most advanced cloud ecosystem in the world. It's the iPhone of dashcams. However, the Thinkware ARC 900 is the workhorse. For about $359 on sale, you're paying about $150 to $200 less while still getting starvis 2 sensors and 4K quality that is arguably more useful for evidence thanks to that 60 FPS smoothness. The built-in screen makes daily use significantly less frustrating, and the 24-day parking efficiency is a massive advantage for anyone who doesn't drive every day. In our opinion, the Thinkware ARC 900 is the more balanced setup for the money in 2026. It gives us the data we need, the battery life we want, and a price that leaves some room in the budget for other rig upgrades. But if you've got the extra cash and you need that cloud connectivity, the BlackVue is still the king of that hill. That's our breakdown. We've put the links to both setups in the description so you can check the latest sales for yourself. If you have questions about the wiring or the 4K quality, drop a comment below and we'll get back to you. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more gear reviews and rig updates. Other than that, we hope you all have a simple day. Peace.